Well, any energy solution, energy proposal still controversy and debate in the public arena. The first issue that has been brought continuously to our attention in many of the consultations has been the divide between rich and poor. And rich and poor countries, and in particular there is certainly awareness of moving towards a low carbon and climate change conscious development, but at the same time is the issue who is going to pay for it and how it's going to be financed. A rich country obviously would like developing countries to embrace more aggressively low carbon, and poor countries believe that is the responsibility of rich countries to finance and to provide the additional cost for helping them to undertake a low carbon trajectory. A new technology often costs more than traditional technology, and somebody has to pay for them. Developing countries perceive this to be a tax on them, and they would like developed countries to pay for the additional cost. On the other hand, developed countries would like developing countries to embrace low carbon trajectories and in cleaner energy development path. And this issue has not been yet resolved. Another point of contention is that some requested the World Bank to invest more and to finance more energy efficiency and renewable energy projects in developing countries, while others recognize some of the comparative advantage of the World Bank Group and would like us to invest more in regulation, in governance reforms, and in transmission and distribution to support access and to support economic growth at country level.
Questions were raised about large hydro projects. On the one hand, many governments are asking for assistance in developing their hydro potential. For example, in sub-Saharan Africa, where less than a third of the population has access to electricity, the continent has exploited only 7% of their total hydro potential, so there is scope for doing much more. On the other hand, people are rightly concerned about social and environmental effects of developing large hydro projects. And so many participants are urging that the bank be extremely selective in going ahead with hydro projects, citing, among other things, the recommendations of the report from the World Commission on Dams. Another area of contention is coal. Some participants have asked that we stop lending for coal altogether, whereas others have argued that precisely because it is important to reduce CO2 emissions, what the World Bank should be doing is to invest in making coal-fired power plants more efficient, new ones as well as existing ones. Nuclear is another area of contention. Some participants have said that they want the World Bank to invest in nuclear power and at a minimum develop internal capacity to advise government about the role of civilian nuclear power in their energy mix, while others strongly oppose this suggestion and urge that the bank stay out of nuclear power altogether. Yet another area of contention is greenhouse gas emissions accounting. Some people argue that we should use that as a tool for decision making and in selecting projects, but others strongly oppose that approach.